Hey guys, how you doing? How your day going? And you just starting. How was your night? Hope you had or are having an amazing and a beautiful day. Today, this is the third part in our Everything Python series. So in the last tutorial, we did DSA, data structures and algorithm, and that was like a handful. So I said that let me introduce you and let's take it back and just step it down and focus on something that is a bit more milder today. We're almost done with the basics of Python. We're soon going to start introducing ourselves to frameworks. But before we do that, there are certain things we need to know. Things like models, lambda function, decorators, iterators, and regular expression. All the things which I said we'll be touching on in this video today. So let's just jump right in. A model is a file containing a Python code which could consist of functions, classes, variables that can be imported and used in other scripts. So, for example, now in this our test of PY, let's have a function. Let's just pay reference to what we did in the last one, an add function. Um, and we want to have A and B, and we just want to return A plus B. It's really simple, nothing special really. Now let's create a new Python file, which is going to be the main file that we're going to be working on. So before we work with this model, what are certain things we need to know? Some of the importance of using models is it promotes code reuse and organization. It makes your program modular. For example, now this test.py file, it's almost like in Python we have the PyPI library, your Python packages where people have like created models and uploaded it there. And when you want to use certain functions, you can just head over there and just install it. Down the line, we're going to start working with a lot of them. But instead of you having to kind of like look for those codes, write those codes yourself, you can just use codes that people have pre-written for you. Then it helps to manage larger projects by breaking down codes into manageable pieces, so you could easily like categorize, okay, this what all these functions will do, this what all these functions will do. Then you know have your main power and that be referencing each of those functions. So if you want to edit a specific function, you know, okay, this function is relating to this, so I need to look in this file for it. So even I want to import this model, I'm going to come to this file. We're now going to see there are multiple ways to import. One way is just say import test. You don't add it .py, will just import test. Then when you now want to import test, we'll now just access the model that we want to use. What do we call it? Add. So just say add 2 plus 3, Ctrl S. I'm running the wrong file, sorry. I was wondering like what is happening here? What's happening here? Okay, pardon my manners. So since we did import test, we're going to do test dot add. Then now we can save it and we can run it. Now, another way we can do this is we're going to say from test import add. So if you have multiple functions you want to import, you just put comma, add the next one, comma, add the next one. Me personally, I don't do this because if I'm importing a lot of things, we just end up having the program long. So when you do this, you can now just come and clean this test and just have add. So if you save it and you run it, it's still going to run the same way. You can also say from test import add. As let's say, for example, we already have a function or we already have another module that we imported and add function from our do one next clash. We can now give it a new name and say import add as maybe summing. So now when you want to use it, instead of using add here, you're now going to say summing. If you now save this, still going to run the same way. Now if there is multiple functions I want to import, I'll usually just say from test import asterisk. What this does is import every single thing that is inside that file. And if you run this, is still going to run the exact same way. Then I don't know if this works, but I'm not really tested it, but we do it in Django. So we can do import test dot add. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. Okay. So now lambda functions. So lambda functions are known as anonymous functions. I think we did it in one with our first video where I explained it a bit, but I didn't really go in depth into it. So lambda function is an anonymous function defined with the lambda keyword, that is lambda. It's used for creating small throwaway functions without needing to formally define them. That means you don't need to recall it, and it's commonly used in higher order functions like map, filter, and sorted. So the syntax is very simple. So let's redo this add function we just did for in lambda. So we'll assign it into a variable. I'll just say lambda. I'm now going to now call the variable. So you know, if you are defining a normal function, you have your def function name, parentheses, the functions you want to use. So now think of this as our parentheses. We're just going to call the functions we need, which is A and B. Then we're now going to have our asterisks to signify our code block, and then the code is already showing us. We're now going to do what the output. So the syntax is lambdas, the argument, and then the expression. So we'll just do A plus B. Then we just print add as you would any other variable. And then you just pass in what are the functions you need. So we need A and B, so we need 2 and 3. Shift F10. Very simple. Okay, so now we're just going to quickly brief over decorators. A decorator is a function that extends the function or the capabilities of another function without actually modifying it. Let's say, for example, I have a greet function that is going to just greet. How do you spell greet? Greet. Is that no? Let's say I have a greet function that its job is to just, well, greet. So I'm just going to print good day. PC has times paving again. So if we just call the function as we would any other function, greet, we expect the system to greet us, tell us good day. Then let's say now we want this function to do a little bit more in certain parts of the code. Like maybe you want it to say good day, how is your day going, maybe something like that. We can now decide to now create a new function that does that. That this function is now going to serve as decorators. Let's just call it my decorator. Then we're going to pass in the function as an argument. You can call it whatever. Now, whenever you define a decorator, you must always define a wrapper within it. So this wrapper is going to be def wrapper, past as parentheses. And now, if we want the greeting to come before the function, this is where we'll put it. But we want to call the function first, execute the function. Then once the function has been executed, we now want to print what text we're going to put there. Good day. How is your day so far? How is your day so far? Why am I writing in caps lock? I'm not supposed to be writing in caps lock. Oh. Now, after this, we're going to return the wrapper function. I just know what is happening. My keyboard is on its own cruise right now. So while we still have this, let's just run this program again. If we run it now before referencing the decorator, it's still just going to run the program the way it is or it's been running since before now. But even I want to add this decorator, the way you just did is reference it like the way you would mention people on social media, you just mention the decorator. You just say at and you now call the name of the function that you want to serve as decorator as my decorator. Now if we save this and we run it, it's not going to say good day. How is your day going so far? So it just is very straightforward. It's not that deep. You just use it to extend the functionalities of whatever function you have already going. Now this greeting is like a very dumbed down example. Down the line we're going to be working with more complex examples. But yeah, let's just quickly jump into iterators. An iterator is an object that allows you to traverse through all the elements of a collection, e.g. a list, a tuple, one at a time. So basically, okay, we have a list here, a equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we are just traversing, we're just saying, okay, we're at one now, right? Move to the next one, two, move to the next one, three. This one like similar tech that is used when you're saying when you're looping through it. But even out is an iterator. So you say the way we're going to do this, we're going to have our list here. Then we're going to have our iterating list or whatever it is you want to call it, where we'll just define a new list. I will now call the ITR function ITER. Then we're now going to pass an iterable. Whenever you hear an iterable, they're just talking through a loopable data set that is a list, a dictionary, a tuple. So you just call the list that you want to iterate through, which in this case is A. And then if you now want to start looping through it, so first of all, you're going to print, you're going to say next because you want it to go to the next value. So you're going to say next. Then I'm going to call the iter function, which is b. So if we save this and we run it, it will give us the first element. Now if you now type get this exact same thing now and do it again and run it, it will start going. So you cannot continue like that and be looping through the list. um you can create your own custom iter function, but that one you just means work using the index position, being incrementing the index. But as of now, that is not necessary. Down the line, when it matters, will come up to it. And then I think the last thing we need to touch is regular expression, regex function. So regular expression is a powerful tool for matching patterns in text. It's going to come in hand like people use it to search. Like I don't know if this one has, but on Visual Studio Code, yes, so if you turn this on here, you can use regex function to text. You're seeing showing regex. So it allows you to just instead of search for text, like there is I will try and link a list of all the regex function that we have so you can know how it's used. But usually you just have like if let's say you want to search for all elements that is oh let's just jump into it. If you want to work with regular expression, you're going to have to use the array model. So the first thing you need to do is obviously import that. Okay, so before we just jump into it, let's just understand some of the regex patterns. So the first one is when we're making use of dots and periods. So dots and periods matches any characters except a new line. For example, if you want to search for characters that matches, let's say A and B, we can just say maybe, or let me look for something that is popular. Um, let's do, so what this basically is going to is like look for any word that has a Y, then this dot can be any single character within that Y. I don't think this U is a popular one. I'm looking for words that are popular. But let's say, okay, let me add another word here. Something that starts with Y and ends with U, whatever. So basically, we're saying that look for any word that starts with Y, has a character in between it, and then has the letter U after that character. It could be any single character you want. And then what we have is the caret. The caret matches the start of a string. So example, you can say, okay, if it starts, look for any string that starts with whatever you put after the caret. This is the caret is on the num keypad above 6, so that is shift 6. So you can say look for anyone that starts with if. You can say look for anyone that starts with in. You can say look for anyone that starts with hello. Then we have the dollar sign. The dollar sign matches the end of a string. So you can say look for anyone that ends with, let's do Tokyo. It is an exclamation mark. Um okay. So now we can now say, okay, let me see if this is going to work. We'll say we want something that starts with in. Okay, I think we'll have to run it in our code first. Okay, no, there's, I think, is it asterisk to use when you want to just have any. Okay, we'll just get to that. Let's not rush. Okay. Then backslash is used to create escape character. This one is already a typical Python code used normally. If you want to add any like in if you want to add any, you're basically character, but you want it to function as a normal string element instead of as a special character, use backslash. For example, now we know dot signifies every single thing. That's why every single thing is highlighted. But what if I just want to search for full stop? I'll just add this backslash. Is backslash is called that, or which one is forward slash, which one is backslash? Is that this one we're going to so you can see now it's now only going to select the ones that start with full stop. Then if you want to match any digits, you visit this backslash again and put D. So we'll just highlight all the numerical digits. Well, if you want everything that is not a digit, you use a capital letter D. If you want to match any word character that is alphanumeric and underscores, you use W. So it's going to highlight everything apart from characters. Then if you want to know numeric, just always know that it's always going to be the opposite, capital letter W. Then if you want to get white spaces, that is like all the spaces you have here, capital letter S. That is going to be for non-white spaces, and small letter S is going to be for white spaces. Then if you want to match like a set of characters, like anything that fits into either of these character, you have a square brace. You now say let's say you want to do for characters A, E, I. So you're just going to search for each and every one of where all these characters occur. They mustn't be together as a pair, just individually. Then if you want anything that is not this one, you just add your caret. So it's going to highlight everything except for those characters. Then if you want to get all lowercase still within your square brace, you're going to say A to Z. If you want to get for uppercase, it's going to be A to Z. If you um if you want to get digits, you'll do 0 to 9. And for quantifiers, so this one, the asterisk that I mentioned earlier, the asterisk matches 0 or more occurrences of the preceding element. So they're just saying anything that comes before the asterisk. Let's say we have A, we'll just match all the places where A occurred in the wherever it is you're searching. While plus sign matches one or more, so it's going to be A plus, and just going to give us every single place A occurred. Then If you do question mark, it's going to mark 0 or 1 occurrence. So this kind of like iterating over through the possible searches. Where's my question mark? And then if you do query basis, it matches exactly an occurrence of the preceding element. So you can limit how many of it you want to see. So you can say, okay, just show us the first three places where it occurred. Okay, does this not work here? That means once we start running the code, then we're going to implement it. So let's just jump into the code. Import query. Okay, so we'll just create a string that has this value. We'll just use a doc string since it's a large one. Or should we just reference that file? Have we covered opening of a file, reading from a file? Let's use this and read from a file. So what we're just going to do is we're going to set the file path, which since it's in the exact same path as so we just need to just reference it. That is text. Yeah. Then we're now going to use with open because I don't that is I prefer this one because this one will just close it, but you don't have to like manually close it once you're done. With open, so you're going to have file path, then you want to read it, then you want to open it as file. This kind of like what you are saving, the variable you are saving the file this thing into. Then want to get our text variable and save the file text into it so we can now access all the strings within it. So if we were to print text, so now we have access to everything that is within that file, text, whatever. So now we can start working with it. So let's just clean this. First thing is let's match any character except a new line. So like I mentioned, the earlier one is matching dots. So we're going to use re dot find all. So we're going to use our regex format. It's just a normal string, but you just put a small letter R in front of it. So within it, let's say let's look for every place where the name John occurred. We're going to say J dot. We'll just allow it to put whatever letter is there, whether it's E, H, C. So we're not going to put, and we'll put the file where or the string where we want to search, which in this case is text, and then we want to print. Do I need to save this file so that you guys can use it? So maybe I'll just be saving it. Should I document it? Okay, let's just print dot matches. Let me document. Oh no, you can just check my blog. Everything will be in my blog. Everything will be in the blog. I'll do that more better. So it's only one place that John occurred. Another thing you could do is let's say you were working a program where you needed to know the exact amount of time it occurred. Instead of just printing out the text, 'cause had it been it was much, you can just say count, just count it for us and let us know how many times. Sorry, you can just count it and let us know how many times that element occurred. Next one is if you want to find the start of a string. So I'm just reading everything we just brief through. So just say matches is going to be equals to re dot find all. Then for our pattern, we said at the beginning of use the caret. I'm going to just say let's search for the word hello. And we're searching in text. Then want to print matches. Okay. Next one, let me just be cleaning the patterns instead of retyping all these things all over again. Next one we did was ending of the search. So let's look for ones that end with, let's say, 20, 24, full stop, dollar. Then let's look for any digit at all. So remember, if you want to search for digits, use the backslash D. Now what if you want to fetch it with whatever comes after it? So I'll just fetch everything as a group instead of, so all digits that occur together, fetch them. Then if there's something breaking, like a character or whatever, skip, look for the next place a digit occurs, group them. Let's do the reverse for non-digits. Let's just change this D to capital letter. You see, so if we were to remove the plus now, we'll just be fetching it individually, which would look disgusting. Let's fetch for any single word. So that's small letter W. Let's put the plus back so that it would look like it has meaning to it. Once again, I said let me be printing the length. It's one times. Then let's get all the white spaces. For the white spaces mainly is just the length we would really need, because I don't think you'd really see white space. Yeah, so there are 66 white spaces. And let's find places where all the vowels occurred. So remember I said you use a square brace and just put in all the words without a comma. Just put all the strings of words you want to find: A, E, I, O, U, Ctrl S. Then what if you want everything but a vowel? You just put the caret. Um, then what if you want to now fetch it as a character? So we'll just be grouping all the consonants, then imperative vowel, of course, it's going to break them. Let's do the same thing for the vowels. I think it's lesser to see vowels beside each other. Okay, then let's do for um let's go into something more practical. If you want to test all this other ones, I would leave the complete what do you call it, patterns on the blog. So let's just go into more practical terms. Let's say for example you want to find all email addresses in the text, which is now when you're now starting yourself actually making use of regex. So if you want to confirm that what the user put in is actually an email, we'll start with square brace. So the square brace, like I said, is to put all the characters you want to find. Now what are all the characters an email can have? Small letters, capital letters, digits. Then I think emails can have full stops, plus and minus, no underscore, minus. Okay. Then we want to now find every other thing that comes after it. So we'll just fetch every other character that comes after it. But as we're fetching all this character, we must ensure that that character contains an at sign, because an email must have an at sign. But once you now find an at sign, you're now looking for, because you have like at Gmail, at Yahoo, so it's almost the same thing. A to Z small letter, A to Z capital letter, 0 to 9. Then you want to now fetch whatever it is that comes after that first character, and you want to fetch a full stop. So we're using backslash because we're looking for the dot. We're not really looking to find one element, because dot signifies any single character at all. But with the backslash, we're saying okay, we want a dot, and then we're not going to have a square base, because this way we're not going to have the domain extension. So it could be .com, dot whatever. Okay, and then after we have it, there's supposed to now be other characters coming after that. So if we now save this, I hope this correct is, yeah. So it's now going to fetch all the places where the email was found. Now you can use the same thing now when it comes to like finding things for, if there's just any specific, like let's say there's a specific type of input you want to filter out when you're receiving words from people, you can always implement that. But email address is like a very good example of when you need to implement something like this. Obviously, there are so many other find functions that people use, but regex just creates patterns that allows you have full control over how everything actually does work. Once you are going into data science, you still find other find elements that people use. Like they have something similar to regex, which you'd see on it. We'll cover it both on Excel and Python. Yeah, is there another thing that I haven't covered? Yeah, I think that should be everything. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, I think that should be everything. So, in the next video, would, I don't know what we're going to cover. Then maybe I think we should start. We'll touch on some important models that everyone should familiarize themselves with, and after this, yeah, have a bit rest of the day. Bye, guys.